That's bull roar, man.
How she goes, Twinkie boy?
Hey, what the hell's a twink anyway?
I think it's like a level up in Boy Scouts after you learn to use a compass, or tie a reef knot or some shit.
Moondog's your turn. Oh, pass me a beer, honey.
All right. Oh, that was uneventful.
All right, it's Miller time, boys. The Manhandler Saloon. Let me grab a cocktail card there.
Someone roll a joint, man. We're running low on beers.
Don't worry about it, Daddy. I've got some gin in my wineskin back in my locker.
Fucking A. But might as well roll a pinner anyway. Keep her greased.
Like some Moscow Mule.
Looks fruity.
Well, it says buy a Moscow Mule for player 4 and switch places.
God damn it, fucking horse feathers! 15 away from the Carly Rae Jepsen gig at the Blue Whale. Payback's gonna be a bitch, let me just say.
That's life on Fireball Island, Daddy. Swallow your whole.
Oh, right on. Prospects card. Fuck, these cards are small, man. Pass me my progressives.
Is that the new euphemism for bifocals, you old asshole?
Well, I'm not the one with white balls now, am I? Pito's old high school coccyx trauma has flared up after running a train on Martinez last night. Miss a turn. Martinez?
Wait a second. I thought he was with Lee, the respiratory therapist.
No, that's Lee, the Asian cat whose dad owns the industrial scaffolding company.
Well, who the hell's Martinez?
The dude at the cupcake tree dressed up as labyrinthy David Bowie.
Right.
Of course.
Ooh, last chance for quiche.
Fuck no.
I ain't wasting a $200 drunk on a $12 egg pie.
You don't like quiche?
I'm no quiche eater.
Spinach, mushrooms, ham, savory egg, custard and cheese, and an unsweetened pie crust.
It's political.
Shit, hold up.
It stinks.
Well, it's another scorcher one out there, kids, and I don't know if Grandma's cow lilies are gonna make it through the night. Getting a bit of a raw deal, so say the priests. 9:58, traffic's clear, 465 degrees, and if you don't like it, then you shouldn't have been masturbating so much, because baby Jesus is always watching. Here's some Running Wild, Brandon in Exile, only on Superstation 66.
What do you think of that doubler effect? Is that too much?
No, it sounded totally natural.
You kinda sound like a natural asshole anyway. Rumors of an FDA crackdown on poppers have caused a massive shortage on the island. You, however, have 5 bottles hidden in your hotel mini fridge. All other players move back 5 spaces. Hold on. You're gonna get all kinds of ball busting for shaving your chest like some closet case back in Ohio. What the hell's going on here?
I'm just gonna say it. I don't remember this game being so, fabulous.
You know, it's funny, because I was going to say the same thing, too. I just thought my memories were a little bit clouded. Ambrose?
What's up, guys?
Hey, man. Weird question. This game.
Yeah?
Yeah, look, I don't want to come across as,
We don't mean to be mean.
but I remember this game being, a little different. Red marbles and, the curse of, Volcar. Yeah, Volcar. Like a quest for a ruby?
Okay, yeah.
Well, this is a bit different.
And why are we moving towards a giant emerald dig?
That's Fireball Island.
Sure. Okay, then.
Phone.
Yeah, the phone ring. Oh, shit. Superstation 66. Yeah. Yeah, he's from Canada, too, right? Say what now? F you, are you serious right now?
What's going on?
Robert from the Metal Meltdown already did a show on the best LGBTQ plus bands out there. He beat us to it! With Melanie Loves Death Metal and Metal Tempest. Fuck. Yeah, says it was great and you should check it out.
One and a 2 and 3 and a bingo. Score. Roll to the beaches for a midnight show in Xanadu.
No, stop.
Yeah, look, I get it. It was just that there was a lot of work put into this Fireball Fire Island gag, you know?
This is a bit?
Yeah, I was gonna surprise you. Thought it was funny. And now I don't know what we're gonna do. Oh. They say we can't play the game anymore because it's kinda homophobic. Like we're stereotyping.
What? Are we stereotyping gay vacations?
Yeah. Hold on, homophobic. Do you know how many banana hammock dicks and rough trade I had to look at to research this shit? A lot.
Hey-o.
My search history looks like the set of Cruising.
Hey, man, put a little bit of tobacco in there.
Well, that's the thing, huh?
What are you, a savage? Are we in second year university?
Okay, fun.
No, and none of us are gay. And they don't want to upset any straight white women out there. Look, seriously right now, is anyone gay here? I put a lot of work into this board.
I think Lex Luger had a beautiful body, not much personality, but I guess that's kind of gay on my part.
Well, I don't exist below the waist, but I know you think Jeff Young from Megadeth is a handsome man.
Yes, good. I love his 80s hair. I'm envious.
Felipe Rose, the Native American, was my favorite in the Village People, even though his voice paled in comparison to Victor Willis.
It's a dated reference, but does it count? No. Of course not.
So let me get this straight. I listened to Later Cynic for nothing.
Yeah, for nothing. Thanks for nothing. Fucking Robert. He did a real number on us this time, boys. Giving the LGBTQ+ a platform on his show to discuss their passion for metal, too. Sheesh! Way to flip and go.
Way to go, inclusivity.
And I was going to surprise you guys, too, by riding in here later on a Harley dressed as Killing Machine era Halford.
Oh man, that would have been amazing.
Fucking Robert. Wait, Rob Halford's gay?
Well, what the hell are we gonna do now?
I don't know, maybe we can do my first wave LA metal.
No!
Oh, fuck that. The gayest part is that they never even brought up Metal Church, Motorhead, Saxon, or King Cobra.
Mark Free isn't gay, Daddy. He had a sex change and is now mercy free. So if she likes dudes, then she's straight.
Hey, would any of you do it to a dude to turn into a hot chick?
I suppose. For science.
It all depends on the circumstances.
Yeah, but the penis would have to be out of the equation. That would be a huge obstacle for me. No offense.
But what if it was like Suzanne Summers? And she had a penis.
Well, now I'm more of a Joyce DeWitt, man.
Well, okay then. Joyce has a penis.
What season, man? Because I hate that short permed look, man.
Straight Joan Jett here from season 1.
Oh, shit. Is it bigger than mine?
Let's say no. Fuck it, it's a micro penis.
Then yes. But only second base. And maybe a steal the third.
Was Pete Gill from Motorhead gay? Lemmy said that he came out in his autobiography.
I always liked him, especially in Saxon.
Fucking Robert!
Fucking Robert.
Fucking Robert, man.
Oh, Robert, you did us dirty.
I got it. What does the VC do when it's completely out of ideas and creatively constipated?
What's spinning? Alright, I'll go first. Palace, Queen of the World, 1989, OG Powerhouse Records, Belgium. Now, why did I pick this? Is it because it's so good? Well, that's strongly debatable. Is it because of the, artwork? Nah. Is it because it's rare and worth a fortune? Nah. It's my way of saying a friendly flip you to Metal Theologian because he needs it. He wants it. And I have it! Now, I personally like it, but let's be honest here. It never really gets there. But I'm rooting for it the whole time it's on. The arrangements, the production, it really has potential. But in all honesty, the vocals are going to be a huge problem for a lot of folks. Even die-hard bargain bin metal fans like Professor Steele over at Let's Talk Metal. And the language barrier is going to be a little bit of a problem. But I like Fisk, Nightmare, Ashbaum. I love all that stuff. But this singer, Daniel Duversart, oh, well, I find his enunciation rather endearing, but it's gonna piss you off, and the lyrics are abysmal, but my kind of abysmal. I think the band had similar feelings about the singer as well, and they actually re-recorded this whole album, dropping the name Palace and rebranding as Rescue with a new vocalist. And you know what? It's amazingly worse! It's also kind of rumored that the cover illustration was like the early work of
Hajime Soriyama.
but I sincerely have my doubts.
Nocturne is the key. 1990. A keyboard fully integrated into a death metal band. Not for atmosphere or effects. Not like a Claude Schnell shamefully hidden away in a lower sock drawer like an issue of Pregnant and Horny. A full member in the lineup, spotlighted in the videos, and actually allowed to speak in interviews. And get this, a full-on cosmic sci-fi theme. Now hey, I know what you're thinking, Daddy, but Moondog, what about nothing? This shit was new for death metal, and they were leading the charge. And upon hearing it for the first time, it was just as jaw-dropping as when ABC in the prize Thursday night 9 o'clock time slot presented Dennis Franz bare ass on NYPD Blue. It was a game changer. Besides being known for having the balls to implement a keyboard into death metal. And let me just say that the sounds Louis Pants are made on the much maligned instrument is far from being the soothing keys prancing across the neo-prog melodies of rush-powered windows of Maiden Seventh Son. Again, it led the charge in creating some of the most technically challenging progressive death metal, with cynic levels of innovation and leprosy massacre for its sheer brutality. Yeah. Mike Browning's supposed ego project, you say? Leftovers from the rejected Morbid Angel days? Oh. I like that. I don't know, this one easily holds its own alongside Altars and Atheist Piece of Time for me, Daddy.
Predator, easy prey. Now, last month we reached out to a bunch of elementary schools all over North America asking for submissions to maybe help light a flame under Metal Blade's ass to get this wonderful album re-released. And let me tell you, the results were delightful. We've got it narrowed down to 3. In third place, Barry Pearson, age 7. He just charmed the piss and shit out of us with this. I like how he shaded the boobs. Nice work. Second, Gerald Olson, you amazing bastard. Look at you. Breaking with convention and swapping the back for the front. His forearm's a little bit long, but your attention to the secondary movement of the hair. I see animator in your future. Now in first place, I know this might be a little controversial and pandering, but we found our winner in Miss Veterinari's grade 4 enrichment program. Whatever the fuck that means. And she's a girl. I know. But a female perspective on this one was mandatory. Beautiful work. I'm looking at it with fresh eyes now. Now full disclosure, here's the bad. The album comes off as a little rapey. It's a little violent. Not in a tasteful Jodie Foster the Accused way, but more in the I spit on your grave or Rape Squad execution. But I like to think of it as material from the perspective of a serial predator, and not one that glorifies it. Like Angel of Death isn't a celebration of Joseph Mengele, or John Lennon's Marxist lyrics to Imagine while he had 100 zillion in his account and written on a bed in a 17-star hotel. Like they didn't mean it. Quite frankly, if we're being honest, I find the costume design to be the most offensive thing here. Serial predators wear Letterman jackets, Argyle sweaters, pleated pants, and windbreakers. Jeff Prentice here is literally wearing Booger's Who Farted shirt from Revenge of the Nerds. The damsel or prey, if you will, from my research turned out to be his sister-in-law. Now I find that kind of endearing, in a shoestring Herschel Gordon Lewis, Don Dolar exploitation sort of way. And that brings us to the production and the music. Now I want you to imagine a third-generation blank VHS with all your favorite Savage Grace, Abattoir, and Chastain bootlegs. Throw of any more Hot Licks instructional shredding video in there, and maybe, I don't know, a pirated copy of Strip to Kill 2. And that's what you have.
But it's a little bit rapey.
Yes, it is rapey. Although Hawk Mistress is a beautiful instrumental that showcases Jeff Prentice's ability, I was moved.
Speaking of Jeff Prentice, why wasn't he scooped up on Shrapnel? I feel that he was probably better suited to them with his guitar gymnastics. Alright, now give me shit for not picking the more metallic Reign of Terror. Come on, get it out. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, I'm Team Matt McCord. And admittedly, maybe I was in the minority in '85 when it was rumored that his pack of mongrels would be back for a second Wild Dogs album. And let me tell you something, kids, it was no disappointment. But it wasn't a gratifying banger either. It was just there. But sometimes existing is half the battle. No, Wild Dogs isn't at the front of the class with his hand held high with all the answers. But nor is he the razor blade comb-owning badass, sitting at the back of the class, partially drunk from a breakfast of pepperettes and a stolen flask of vodka from his stepmother's purse. No, Wild Dogs is slap dab in the middle of the class, with a solid B- average, who likes to just draw handicap, Lobo, and Cox on his desk to the amusement of all those around him, even though it kills him that Marie Collingwood never takes him seriously. Anyway, a sleaze charged but scrappy and capable enough bargain bin rods. With hints of early Twisted Sister and some LA cock rock, I imagine this one was conceived as a soundtrack to any given night on the unforgiving streets of Hollywood at times. But eventually came to terms with reality and was contented with just cruising the streets of Torrance for 3s dressed as 5s.
All right, USA 1982. There's a lesson to be learned here, kids. Don't judge a book by its cover, because look at this thing. This band is called USA. Not Kansas, not Boston, not Chicago. It's USA. Look at these outfits in here. Look at the double lightning print shirts. The pomp, the circumstance, keyboard-driven AOR rock, les moustaches. How could this be anything less but awesome? Well, it's not. It's like seriously listening to Toto's Rosanna over and over and over again at different speeds. This album is an oasis gone dry.
Wouldn't that be just like a desert again?
Shut up. This was Philadelphia's kick at the can, and you blew it. You had it all. This was supposed to be your supergroup, 2-cup winning assholes. This is supposed to be your supergroup with Larry Bod from Network, and I don't even know Network, but I bet I'd love it. Holy shit. These savages, get this, sneak in a track on here called Hard Life. And if you were unlucky enough to drop the needle at that precise moment that song comes on, you'd be swindled into thinking that this ball heater was a safe representation for the rest of the album. It's like there was some sort of like giant error where another band's song got accidentally pressed on a different record. It's unbelievable.
That one's not bad.
You know what, Philadelphia? I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Morgoth, Resurrection Absurd. You ever notice that you never hear anybody say, hey, listen to that old school German death metal sound? You see what I'm saying, Daddy? Kinda like thrash with the Brits. There were a few kicking around. Acid Rain, Onslaught, Sabbath, Death Wish, Centrix.
Annihilated.
Oh yes, Annihilated, another British household name alongside Coronation Street, Jaffa Cakes, and William Attenborough.
Okay, you don't have to get hot about it.
All I'm saying is that Germany's contribution and reputation for vicious, blackened thrash would say creator, destruction, Sodom, and living death. I could go on. You'd think that the frightening inevitability of a most definitely ultimate nullifying German death metal movement would send the darkest of clouds across the Atlantic, and its colossal shock waves that would ripple across Europe. The stuff of Scandinavian folklore! And yet, few and far between. Morgoth being one of the more interesting groups, and the first German death metal band. But yet they still clung on to the Teutonic thrash roots like a security pool noodle on a Saturday family swim, forfeiting its own potential style for what Death was doing on Scream Bloody Gore and Obituary. Brutal, raw, no school. The EP is almost a blur. The songs almost blend seamlessly into one another, for better or for worse, in a very claustrophobic production. But in my books, Mama, definitely the finest hour, and I also appreciate the efforts made to put Karsten in a wig on the band's promotional photos, because he had listed into the German army and was forced to cut his hair. Sanctified
Benediction, subconscious terror. Let me just say that some of the happiest times of my life consisted of a few beers, an unplugged phone, and microwave nachos. Just lazing around the apartment, playing Choplifter 3, and listening to Benediction. I'm a simple man with simple tastes. I do not need duck foam confit. I'm not a fan of black tie scallops served on 9 tiny glass window panes rescued from an old Spanish winery. I like salts. I like ketchup. I like a good unrated action film shot in the Philippines with a lot of titties and an explosion that most likely killed a stuntman or two. And I like early 90s death metal. God love Chuck and all his brilliance and all that individual thought patterns and sound of perseverance shit. I like that. But I dig the brutal, battering rhythm of subconscious terror. This thing is not at all polluted with an onslaught of modern blast beats. The drumming is very much on the verge of almost being out of time. And there is no technical guitar wankery. Just gruesome, guttural, lo-fi, cavernous production this side of Kisses Hotter Than Hell sessions. And that's barely holding this bastard together. You know what I'm saying? There is, of course, a healthy nod to Chuck's leprosy era and possessed 7 churches, let's be real. But for me, it's made even more imposing by the delivery of Barney Greenway, who we all know was bound for napalm death shortly after this and replaced by Dave Ingram. I like him. I like the Grand Leveler and Transcend the Rubicon. They're boss hog, in my opinion. But I am a dirtbag. I know this. All my wives have told me so.
Manila Road, Mystification 87. You wouldn't feel much like trench coating it or putting it in a brown paper bag if all epic power metal sounded like this. Even classifying Manila Road as power metal feels like you're doing them a great disservice and understating just how special they were. Kinda like the Ramones and Motorhead's dismissed late 80s and 90s output. Manila Road coasted through the decade because quite frankly, what else were they gonna do? Become dental hygienists? Fact no, they were rockers. And to their detriment. Shamefully, there's no Dave Grohl endorsement for this band. And Miley Cyrus and Anthony Bourdain were never spotted wearing a Spiral Castle shirt outside the In-N-Out Burger by TMZ after a post-Oscars show. Their legacy is in our hands, assholes. Knock on doors if you have to. Sadly, with the death of Mark Shelton, many are only now slowly coming around to rediscovering their catalog. Beyond the big four that was Crystal Logic, Open the Gates, and The Deluge. And this one right here, considered by some to be the last of the classic era. If you haven't dipped your toe into the catalog and you're kinda curious, I recommend checking out the band's Spotlight on Heavy Metallurgy on the Mighty Worm channel. Mystification does catch a little bit of bullshit for production at times. Some people even complained about the speed and thrash influence on the album, and it's there. Not as much as say Out of the Abyss, which was great, but I did feel it was a bit forced and out of character. Also, at first glance, an album based almost exclusively on the gothic writings of Edgar Allan Poe could be a huge warning sign. Any other band would risk coming off as colossal dickheads. Like I wouldn't want to hear Leatherwolf announce a reunion album based on the writings of Doris Lessing or V.C. Andrews.
Actually, I would very much like to hear that.
I never thought I'd actually hear Edgar Allan Poe and V.C. Andrews in the same sentence.
Point is, Manila Road can do it. Woefully dark, atmospheric, and triumphant. It's classic storytelling, ripping yarns, as the kids say. This time delivered a little more aggressively than they had done on the previous 3, but just as good. The title track alone moves me. Just look at my arms. Chills.
2 hot knives, I need you, I need you. 2 hot knives,
2 knives that hit out.
Come on, yeah.
Well, there you go, people. Don't tell me we didn't have a few laughs tonight. Just sipping wizards, busting balls, making memories like nobody's business. It's October, and you know what that means. the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, and we're sure shit excited to celebrate that one with you. But till then, from all of us at Superstation 66 and Chromium Dioxide Radio, we don't give a damn who or what you love as long as it makes you happy. And we sure as hell don't give a flippin' monkey's uncle about what or why you hate. And don't you got a problem with that, man?
You can go to hell.